Hakuna Matata. It is Tuesday, May 25, and we went around this with a router and a light sanding, took off all the edges, smoothed out all the irregularities. Look at this sexy thing, will you? Here's my piano hinge. It's going to go something like that. And I don't think I want this thing smashing this hinge all the time. It's just aluminum. Couldn't afford stainless steel. I need my firstborn child. So we went with aluminum. So that being said, there's not that much of a beating this can take. So I want a recess for the level of this so it's not smashed all the time. The hinge pin is going to be overhanging a little bit, so I think it might distort. I don't know, maybe I'm over concerned about it because there's quite a bit of length to this, but I think we're going to do that anyway. And I am going to probably, oh gosh, I can't make up my mind. I was thinking I was probably going to recess the base, not this, but I'm realizing the base is only 3/4 inch plywood, and if I take away this much of a thickness, that's damn near 1/4. That means there'll only be a 1/2 inch left for the screws, and that ain't much. If I do it to this side, I can screw down into this, and is there enough strength here, I wonder? If I go halfway into this 1/2 inch sheet of plywood, yeah, I guess it'll be fine. I have to think about that. I already removed some of these screws, and I filled them with a mixture of super glue and sawdust because the screw holes in this were going to be too close for comfort. Well, I actually took a piece of wood and ground it down to be a round dowel, and I hammered it down in the hole with super glue first, and then the countersink area is what I filled with super glue and sawdust. So, got to make a decision here because it's ready for it. Next step's going to be to cut the base, and I want to know what I'm doing to this first. Gosh, it sure pays to take your time and think things through. I was just getting ready to groove this 1 inch wide and 1/4 inch deep so the whole hinge would reside within this, so it'll sit flat when it's folded. And I didn't realize if I do that, when I unfold it, the two levels are going to be 1/4 inch at a level from one another. So I've got to take an 1/8 inch off of each side, and that's not that big of a deal. I can do that. It's going to be 1 inch wide by 1/8 inch deep. I'm going to use the router for that, and all I got to do, I'll use that router. All I got to do is put a straight edge down there in the right spots, and bada bing, piece of cake to do. So these are the tools I made up a while ago when I was building all the cabinetry. These two pieces, they go together with this router. They're made for this dimension here. So this piece of aluminum or steel matches the difference from the edge of my blade to the edge of the router. So I can put this here and move this edge 1 inch from here. This piece of aluminum just happens to be 1 inch wide. So if I can line that up, I don't even have to measure anything. That's going to give me what I need. I could put a clamp here and then repeat on the other end. And since this is 1/8 inch thick aluminum, I'm using that to set my router bit depth. Just a hair less than 1/8 inch, and I'll verify how deep I am after I make my cut. All right, that was easy. So the measurements were all right. I had to lower the blade bit just a little bit to give me half of this width. This is 240 thousandths. So the depth is 120. I think I should have gone about 10 thousandths less, but I got the other half to go yet. I can steal a little bit, but that'll be just right. And then when it's open and in bed mode, there'll be just this little bit of a bump to deal with under the mattress, and you'll never feel it. But I do got to smooth all the edges so we don't snag the mattress, that's for sure. I'm just going to sand this. I'm not going to round it, and this as well. And these holes from the screws are inconsequential because they're nowhere near the holes that this thing's going to have. I filled the holes that were close. So I could actually install that hinge right now if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm going to wait. I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to bring the base in here and trim the bottom of the base off, and then trim this little piece off the front of the base. Then I'm going to start to install the hinge.